Okay, welcome to the inaugural, the very first Subcast that we've ever done. This is basically just a little podcast show. It's me and Timmy sitting here.
Yo.
And we're just here. We're just going to discuss some topics that we don't really hear discussed very often. And the first one that popped into our heads was what makes gaming fun.
Yes. What does make gaming fun? Now, you could be into it for all sorts of reasons. The artistic expression, the music, I don't know.
The story.
You just like pushing buttons.
Yeah, do you just like talking with your friends like online? Whatever it is, but this is our opinions. Now, what we did was we were trying to like scope out like where the episode was going to go. Mm-hmm. And then we just ended up in a discussion.
Happened. Yeah.
And so we're recording this after.
Yeah, this is
the fact.
After the fact, yeah.
And so, this is what we came up like. What makes a game fun?
The vicarious nature of it. You know, when you have a strong character. You know, it's like this guy's doing stuff that you couldn't ever do or wouldn't have the balls to do.
Right.
Whether or not there's consequences. And just, of course, being able to engage yourself in ways you're not really allowed. You really can't in real life. Like, real life, you don't run into puzzles like Link does.
Right.
Stuff like that. You just commune to work. You're not paying attention to the attack patterns of the ghosts in the fucking maze, like in Pac-Man and shit like that. You know.
Right.
You're able, just basically do all the things you can't do in real life.
So you would say essentially living vicariously through a fantastical character.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of them. Yeah, it's a big one though.
I think for me it's a lot of just okay. A lot of people I feel would define the fun of gaming as success. Mm-hmm. Succeeding at something.
All right.
And for me I don't think that that's it. It is partially, but it's not the destination, it's the journey there.
Okay.
So like okay. For instance, and I'm just going to use this as an example because it's the only thing I can really think of off the top of my head.
All right.
It's one of the few qualms that I have with Ocarina.
All right.
Okay. There are a lot of times where as a child I remember running into a puzzle. Mm-hmm. And I put that in air quotations.
Yeah.
And I didn't have all the pieces. But I didn't know that. Because, like, why would I walk into a room and not have the pieces? How would I know? Uh-huh. I just walk into a room and I'm like, there's a puzzle here, I need to figure it out. The fun isn't completing the puzzle. Because if I go and I find the thing that I needed, and then I come back and I complete the puzzle, it's very bittersweet. It's not satisfying. Mm-hmm. It's just like, fucking great. It's over. I'm glad it's over. Right. But like if I walk into that room, like for instance in Breath of the Wild, you walk into the shrine, you have everything you need. Uh-huh. Unquestionably. And so when you put all the pieces together and they fit, there's a certain level of accomplishment that comes along with that success, but also you had fun while you were doing it because you used your brain.
Oh, okay.
So it's more about the journey than the success for me because
right.
when you have the success, that's not necessarily why you felt good.
Right. Yeah.
And so for me, it's just it's knowing that you conquered something, sure. But it's the way that you conquered it.
All right.
Like, when you first saw it, it seemed so daunting. Mm-hmm. But, like, you organized it and you figured it out, and now it's fine. And, like, that's just... Right. That to me, that's a big part of what makes a game so much fun.
I can totally see that. And again, it kind of like, like my reason, like I said, vicariously living through this fantastic character, he's able to solve things in ways I'm not allowed to in real life like that.
Right.
In real life, for the most part, like in most of our 9-to-5 jobs and stuff, we're not really thinking outside of the box to solve our problems. We have a set way of doing them. We know what works. More often than not, there's not a whole lot of ways that actually improve on it.
Well, hey, branching from that, when you go to work, you're given all of the tools and sometimes the exact scripts to take care of these problems. So it's not enjoyable because you don't get to express yourself creatively. You don't get to problem solve on your own. And that's a real enjoyment, I think, with any game for me personally. So you're never going to go to work and be faced with a problem, or very, very rarely are you going to be faced with a problem where you decide how that problem is resolved. Unless you're the boss.
Yeah.
And even then, you usually have some corporate crony breathing down the back of your neck that won't allow you. They have a certain guideline. And even if you're the CEO of that company, you have to answer to the stockholders. So there's a certain artistic expression that I think needs to be recognized in gaming. You see a lot of these casuals, and I'm not dogging on casuals. Casuals are necessary for the gaming market to explode the way that it has. They're responsible for the indie game market coming around, which has fantastic titles. Like recently, Inside. I think that looks like a fantastic game, and I had a chance to play it, but it looks fucking great.
Right.
Journey was great. Just games like that, and so but back to my point, a lot of these casuals come around and they just want to hop online and shoot people and then brag about their KD, and that's fine if that's how they define fun in games.
Right.
But they're defining it as the success, and I think that they're missing the journey.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot the vicariousness of living through a certain character, like in Call of Duty, you don't get that because you die and now you're a new person. Where's the vicarious nature? There's nothing. No, the campaigns I think are great.
Those are a lot of them, especially the first Black Ops game. Actually, it felt like a borderline cinematic experience.
They're fantastic.
Right.
I honestly believe there's some of the best experiences in gaming. It's just there's not a demand for it because people want to hop online with their buddies and shoot at each other. And again, that's fine if that's what you want. It's just not for me. Now, another thing is these sports games and the first-person shooters. There's this instant gratification thing that people need that they don't allow themselves to get attached to something long enough to experience the joy that you or I would. You or I can sit through a 60-hour Final Fantasy game and be entertained 56 of those hours. I mean, let's be real. You're not going to love every fucking minute. The grinding sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
But we can sit through it for 60 hours and enjoy 56 of them and hate the 4. They have to have that now instant gratification. They need to have a play run every 30 seconds. They need to grab that rebound in 2K and run down and fucking perform an alley-oop. They need that instant gratification. And again, everyone defines fun in video games differently, and that's fine if that's what they need.
Right.
But I think for both of us, I think it's the journey and bonding with a character.
Yeah, it really is. And, I was actually thinking about something funny when you had brought up the yearly Madden releases. Well, the yearly sports releases. Thank you, EA. Now, I actually there is a little bit of roleplay element, but I feel like it's probably one of the more overlooked game modes as of late. It's franchise mode. Like, what I do like that I can vicariously pretend in my head that I'm the owner of this team, right?
Yeah, you're a GM.
Yeah, I'm a GM, right? And I can suck all I fucking want, right? But, like, in my head, I'm thinking of all these things. It's like, I don't care that I got, you know, God knows what draft pick, and I just, like, got the shittiest punter in the league. But at the same time, dude, we're selling them coffee mug posters like crazy down in Tallahassee. I mean,
you know what's great though? EA has very much catered to the instant gratification crowd.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And again, I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't, because I did like the EA games. I didn't dislike them until about 2006.
Yeah.
I feel like they completely dropped off. But personal opinion. However, the NBA 2K games, playing through the My Career mode is the most fun I've ever had in a sports game.
Yeah.
And the year, I don't remember, whatever year that Spike Lee wrote the fucking story for 2K. I think was it 15 or 16? It was one of those two. Anyways, that was really good. Like, I really enjoyed that. I didn't particularly like how they, like, wrapped it up and, like, okay, now you're just in the NBA like a regular dude.
Okay.
But it was really, really enjoyable, and I think that they should try to do a little bit more of that. I would buy a lot more sports games if they had something like the show had, like, this Road to the Show thing.
Yeah.
But there wasn't really anything to it. Like, there wasn't enough meat in it to, like, really grab me.
Nah.
But I also haven't played that game in, like, 5 years, so I couldn't tell you what the fuck they're doing with it right now.
A lot of that, and it was, I don't even really like baseball games, but I will say the show, quite a few times, that career mode's a whole lot of fun. But, you know, most of that story, I'm kind of building on it, because I gave my guy my name.
Sure.
He's swinging with tendencies that I have, because I'm controlling them, so I'm thinking, like, you know, well, that's really cool. I got my RBI up and all that. Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, I'm thinking marketing myself, even though that's not in the game. There I am, just throwing myself in it. But
well, you know what? These career modes like that. There was also one that they did with Madden for a couple years where they had, like, you could create your character and, like, play as just him. And that was really interesting. And it's like a slow burn for gamers like us. And I think that that's really interesting. And if you're like us, if you're like me and Tim, and you also enjoy sports but you don't like the sports games, strongly recommend, especially if you're into basketball, check out the 2K series, because that career mode is, like, tailor-made for gamers like us.
Alright.
So if you guys agree with us when it comes to what you fucking what fun in gaming is, then that's definitely worth checking out.
Alright.
But anyways, we accidentally started this episode.
Yeah, we did.
We completely we accidentally started this. So I think that's gonna wrap up our inaugural subcast.
Alright, yeah, I'm happy.
I think that was it's an under expressed topic.
Yeah.
No one really gets into that. No one wants to have an honest discussion because they just want to yell at each other.
Right.
Like, I can sit here and just shit all over casuals. Like, I could.
Yeah.
I've done it.
It wouldn't be hard.
Well, it would be, but
well,
my dick. But
yeah. I mean, if they could get their face out of their phones long enough to argue back.
But the point is that it's a different opinion, and they are important to gaming as a whole, because their money is the reason why we get big budget blockbusters like Breath of the Wild and Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and I know that those aren't huge budget, but they're big budgets. Yeah. They're still AAA games. And their money is the reason why we get those. And I can't I can't dog them because they're the reason that we get such high quality artistic expressions.
Yeah.
From some of these bigger developers.
Right. Because, I mean, yeah, it's still money going into the industry that we love and care for so much.
So, anyways, that's the first, that's the inaugural Subcast. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.
Good night, kids.